heading into this stretch run, we've heard about all the players who are not there. Of the ones who are, who could potentially carry this team to a Super Bowl, who is the best player on offense? Who is the best player on defense? What do you see it?
Okay. Okay. I love this. Um, I would like to say the best player on offense is Brock Purdy, but he's not.
No.
I think he should be, and he may still be. But right now it's George Kittle. Even though he missed time, he is competing at an elite level. He's one of the greatest tight ends who's ever lived. He's competing at an elite level. Brock Purdy is not. And also, McCaffrey, who I have tremendous respect for, is a workhorse and he's productive, but he's not elite. So for me, the best player is the tight 85. What do you think, Iggy?
I would say yes. I would say also I still think Trent Williams is a great player. He's not as good as he was 2 years ago, but he's still a very good pass protector and an even better run blocker. I would say you can't go wrong with him or George. But George is elite as well. Those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't
Because
thought of
you pointed
70.
out last week, the offensive line has been quietly, surprisingly solid this year.
I think so. I think they've protected the quarterbacks pretty well.
That's his unit, and they've been better than the defensive line.
Yeah. Okay. I like
Yeah.
71. So can we call it a toss-up between those two?
I would call it a toss-up, yeah. Yes. It's not 23. It's not 13.
No, it's
No.
not.
No. A couple of years ago, those two were in the MVP, where they were finalists. Now, no, it would be George. Okay.
A couple of years ago, you would say McCaffrey, that would be the end of it. No question about it, Iggy.
Mhm.
And I want to say, when he was really good, God, that I love to watch him play.
Yeah.
What a
Could
pleasure.
you imagine him in like a Bill Walsh offense?
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, defense. I'd like you to do the defense. Best player currently playing.
Okay. I would say that it's Diamador Lenore. He hasn't had a lot of action this year, but I think that sort of speaks well of him as a cornerback. I mean, teams don't throw at him. They throw it up and Stout. They throw it the safeties. They throw it the linebackers. They throw it Ronaldo Green. Ronaldo Green's a good player, but he's constantly breaking up passes. Lenore isn't, because he's pretty much not untested, and I think that's a big compliment for Lenore. He's a hell of a player.
Hell of a player.
Hell of a player. But there is one more guy who's kind of like in the running as well, and he's been more in the he plays in the middle of the field. He is getting tested. He's intercepting passes. He's making lots of tackles. It's the third-year safety, Jair Brown. He's an interesting guy. He was a third-round pick. Steve Wilkes liked him. He started in the Super Bowl as a rookie, intercepted Mahomes, came back year 2, lost his starting job, didn't play well. That was when Nick Sorensen was the defensive coordinator. This year, Saleh's here, starts off benched, gets a job as a nickelback on first down, plays well, and now he's arguably their second best player on defense. So Jair Brown.
I love it. You're educating me. And
he's a lot like Talanoa Hufanga. He's essentially replacing Talanoa Hufanga. Bigger guy, not the fastest guy, but finds himself around the ball and is intercepting it, which is what they need.
And that speaks well of Saleh too, that he knows his personnel, right? And he gives them opportunities to get more action.
Yeah. So you think like a team that's led by a left tackle, a tight end, and 2 DBs, it's probably not enough to win a Super Bowl when there's teams out there with like Josh Allen. But then the Niners are interesting this year because they have one of the best returners in the league, Sky Moore, who's been a real weapon for a month. Eddie Pinheiro was like wouldn't miss, and he's coming back. 2 really good coaches. They're a very interesting team.
Yeah, as I say, this is one of the most fascinating seasons I've ever witnessed. I wish I don't want to work anymore, but I wish as a young man I could have covered this team.
One of the things I like about this team is that the Niners have looked at themselves in such a weird way for years, almost like a basketball team, like they're like the core, and it's like 5 players, a 7-man rotation. But it feels like what's special about the 2025 49ers is has nothing to do with the core. It's an actual team. The special teams guys matter. Sky Moore matters. Uh, Cleveland Farrell off the practice squad is more important than Nick Bosa because he's gone. I like that about this team. It's actually more of a team.
I dislike the idea of a core. I dislike the idea that people identify themselves on the team as a core. I like the idea of a team. And I can think of coaches who would not allow discussion of a core because the whole team is the core.
Yeah. You're not a basketball team. You're not a doo-wop group. It's not about the 4 or 5, 6 of you. It's about 53 guys coming together. And one of the things I really like about baseball, growing up playing that sport, is that you can't act like you're more important. There's no core group of on your baseball team because everyone gets the same amount of at bats. You all have to carry your weight. And I think on a football team, it's supposed to be the ultimate team sport. Everyone has to carry their weight. And on this team, I mean, Jake Moody wasn't, but the kickers are now. The returners are now. The special teams was always a huge problem. In the Super Bowl 2 years ago, when they had a team that you'd say objectively on paper was way better than the 2025 49ers, they fumbled a punt return. They muffed a punt. They gave away points on special teams. This team actually seems like they could be generating points on special teams in big games, which is huge. And they got
You're
Salah.
you're having fun covering this team, aren't you?
It's a very interesting team. I mean, it feels like they keep telling themselves that next year's the year and this is just a transition year and they can take their lumps and they're ahead of schedule. I don't know, man, because next year Salah could be gone. Clay Kubiak could be gone. Mac Jones could be gone. Trent Williams could be no more. This feels like a great year to win the Super Bowl. And they just might. Who knows? In spite of all the
Iggy,
things that they thought and did.
I'm not sure what the team thinks. Although I think around the trade deadline they were thinking that, but certain people in the media have put forth the idea that this is a transitional year and it won't really come to fruition until 2027. And as I've said before, that's a bullshit narrative.
It's a bullshit narrative. I mean, yes, Diamador Lenore and Jair Brown could be, foundational pieces for the future, but right now the best players on offense, one is 37, one is 32. This is a great year to win the Super Bowl with those guys. If you win the Super Bowl in the future, those guys could be non-factors.
Hey, Iggy, could I say something? You just used the word pieces. Those are good pieces.
Oh, I said that. I'm sorry.
You did. Could we have a little parenthetical for a moment? Because I
Sure.
thought about this a lot. Um, I'm not getting on Iggy, but I guess I am a little bit. Um, you hear it with football announcers all the time. Oh, they've got their pieces. They got him. He's a good piece. And I've thought about it two ways. One is it's very dehumanizing.
Yeah.
It's not calling them a good player. It's calling them a piece. And I understand in football why you would dehumanize because they have the helmets on and you can't really see their faces, especially if you're live, if you're at the ballpark. In baseball, you can see them. In basketball, you can really see them. The only way you can see their faces is if you're watching on TV and they take their helmet off or they get a close-up of them with the helmet off or even with the helmet on. So in a sense, they're dehumanized, and I see why announcers would call them pieces. And I think that sucks because people are people, they're not pieces. But there's something else. Football, as played in the NFL, is the closest thing to live chess.
Mm-hmm.
And in chess, you call them pieces.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
So,
it's not like necessarily a disrespect. It's
right.
just sort of like using a chess lexicon.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So it
And
used
the
to offend
players say it about themselves too, because I think they want to see themselves as like the queen or the rook, or it's like I'm an important piece out here.
the bishop, all of
Yes.
that. So it
Yes.
used to offend me, but now that I've thought about the chess comparison, I totally get it.
Mhm.
Like I see sometime maybe the, and I could be really all wet on this. The offensive linemen are sort of like pawns.
Yeah, they're like the first line of defense.
The first line of
Quarterback is the
defense.
king because the quarterback is in the pocket, sort of standing
Oh,
still.
yeah,
Christian McCaffrey's the queen because you can do the most with him. The
yeah.
tight end probably the the rook
The,
can make those
the
go those
rook,
like
the
weird
tight end's the
L-shaped
rook. Yeah,
moves. You know what I mean? The wide
he's the rook.
receivers are definitely the
The
like
bishops. Oh, the
could be
knights. The
the knights.
knights.
Yeah,
The knights.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I'm no longer offended when they call it pieces because it's like chess. And when I play chess, I don't anymore because I can't think one move ahead. I call them pieces. So that's my little ending of the parenthetical discussion.
That's I like it. And I got the pieces wrong. I'm sorry.